Welcome, this is Giuseppe with the ItalianCookingClass.com. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be doing a lovely, wonderful, simple recipe that everybody always loves but never make them because they always seem too difficult. We're going to run through some little details that make all the difference, some little hints, and we're making some profiteroles or puff rolls or choux pastry, whatever you like to call them, those things that got chocolate on them and cream inside. But we're just going to make the actual case and then you can fill them with whatever you like. We'll just run through the ingredients. We have some eggs, of course. We've got some salt, small amount, brings out some flavour, flour, some sugar to give it a touch sweetness, some butter and some water. A little detail that I'm going to explain after is we're baking them. We let them dry in the oven, that way they're set nice and firm when they come out. So we'll get cooking on these. What we want to do is heat the water along with the sugar, the salt and the butter.
What?
Just heat the water up and melt the butter in there just till it gets to a slight boil. And then we're going to add the flour to it and we're going to mix it all in together until it all amalgamates and it just starts pulling away from the actual sides of the pot. Well, there we go, it's just starting to boil a little bit. We'll just stir it till it's all amalgamated nicely and coming away from the actual sides of the pot as it is right there. And then we're going to put it back on the heat, just on low, and we'll just stir it for a couple of minutes like that, and then we'll put it in the electric beater to actually keep beating it, because you should be doing this for about 10 minutes, but there'll be enough heat in that for it to mix in the mixer itself. And the reason why we do that is because we want it to beat and get as much air into it as we can, because that's a little secret, a little trick to it, is that the more air we can beat into it, the more they're going to rise and be puffy and crisp up in the oven. So that's pretty good, that'll be enough for now. And we'll just throw that now into the mixer and just keep beating it for about 8 to 10 minutes. Alright, so I'll put it in the mixer itself. We're going to beat it for about 8 minutes until it cools, and then what we'll do is we'll put it back on and we'll mix an egg in at a time. If we put the eggs in now, they will heat up and it will cook the eggs, and that's not what we want to do. Still plenty of heat in there to actually allow the dough to keep cooking and mixing at the same time. Now this has been mixing for about 10 minutes and two things have happened in that time. Firstly, obviously it's getting air into it, that's what we want to do, into the dough, and secondly it's actually cooled down, so we're able to add the eggs into it one at a time as the recipe calls. As we add the eggs, we allow each one individually to be absorbed, and then we add the next one. Now we'll add another egg. See how it's getting drier? This is coming together nicely. We'll add one more egg in there. And when that's all amalgamated, that should be the right consistency to pour out. I'm going to use spoons, and I've got in the recipe to use a piping bag to make it easy and get a nicer shape and more evenly, though I'm just going to use some spoons as I'll show you. That back on there and we'll mix that through. See how it's all quite sticky, and that'll just turn into nice little balls, the size that you would like. Voila! I think that dough is just about perfect. Now I'll scoop it out of the pot, or the bowl I should say, and just on there like that. They will rise some, so it's important to give them a little bit of space in between. Now we'll put them in the preheated oven, 200 degrees, and we'll wait till they're ready. We'll time them for 20 minutes and then we'll see to them. The timer's gone off now for 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what they're like inside the oven. They have actually grown and risen quite an amount, and they're just starting to brown. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat down, and we're just going to let the air circulate inside the oven. They will continue to cook a little bit, but they will mainly dry. Then after 10 minutes, we will slightly open the door so that the heat escapes, and it'll let the air escape, and it'll cause a draft, and it'll allow the profiteroles to dry and stay nice and puffy. Because if we open the door now, the heat will escape and they will fall a little bit because they're still a bit soft, so they still need to dry a little bit more. I'm going to turn the heat down, and all that we've got going is the actual fan itself. You can see in there, you can see my reflection as well there, bending over. They have risen some, they are quite puffy, they're nice, and we're just going to let them finish off cooking and drying with the heat of the oven and the air circulating with the fan in the oven. The heat's been off for about 10 minutes now, and the oven door has been closed. The profiteroles should be nice and dryish, and so now we're just going to open the door a little bit, and we'll just let all that heat escape. Otherwise, if we turn it off and leave them in there, the actual heat will condense in the oven and the profiteroles will soften. So we want to get the airflow going through. They're just like a draft happening, and we'll do that for about 10-15 minutes, and that'll just dry them right through. It's been about 10-15 minutes now that we've left the door open and allowed the fan to cause that draft in the oven and allow those profiteroles to dry out nicely. We'll have a try now, we'll just test them out. Wowee, they look stupendous. They could actually go a little bit more. I'm actually going to put them back in for a touch more. I'll try the ones at the bottom, because the ones at the bottom, the fan was on them a bit more. They're a little bit crispier. I'll put them in there as well for another about 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, now we're going to, I'll put them back in, they've been there for another 5-10 minutes, and I think they're pretty alright. We'll just pull these out now. Yeah, they feel pretty crunchy, pretty good. Beautiful profiteroles on steroids. And we'll just have a look inside what they're like. Oh, nice and crunchy. Oh, look at that. That is just beautiful. With the Italian cooking class, thank you for watching. And I'll be filling these later on with some nice crema di pasticcelle or some cream and some chocolate, whatever you like, whatever I like. You can do your own. Thank you for watching. Arrivederci, buon appetito.